Hello gamers, we are back. And we've been performing pretty well. There's no music here while I'm alt-tabbed, and now that we're back in, there should be music. We've been on a bit of a heater lately now. All good things must come to an end, but hopefully not today. It's a tough one for me. I don't mind the curse for 2 transforms, but with no guaranteed shop, I'd rather just choose a colorless card. I was kind of hoping we'd get rare, but I mean, Enlightenment can hit. This is a tough one, man. 1 draw for 0 is good, and the shuffle is good if you're running. Well, it's good if you want to draw a card you've already played, which often happens, but it's very good for like a rampage. Something in my heart of hearts says that 6 block for 0 is just disgusting early, though. Enlightenment is great. There's so many ironclad cards that cost more than 1 that we love to take. Perfect Strike early is very common. Fiend Fire, Bludgeon, etc., etc. But you know, I'm going to try Enlightenment, but I was very close to taking Good Instincts or whatever the card is called. I don't know, it's purged from my mind now. Now, we're going to dead draw Enlightenment often, especially early. But if, and I was just like examining, I guess, my own tendencies. I have a tendency to take a 2-cost card pretty early in the run, because you almost always want a clothesline, an uppercut, a carnage, a perfected strike, an immolate, like something that can actually do some damage. We didn't get it right away, but I'm letting myself be a little bit patient with this one. It doesn't have to come together immediately. We may never actually like build a run that takes advantage of it, but it goes the other way too, just to be fair. We could get a barricade, unupgraded entrench, impervious, etc., etc. I'm a spot weakness guy, and you know what? It's nice to have a scaling card in your deck so early. That doesn't always come to pass. Sometimes we're fighting the first boss and still like don't have any means of getting stronger over time. Now, 1 of those is probably not gonna save me. By the way, Enlightenment difference, but still. I love Shrug, but I'm gonna take a Headbutt to bring back spot weakness. And I'm feeling like pretty okay right now. I'm feeling like we have a very average sort of deck going on. I'll just pop these 2. We don't really need to scale against this guy. I think we got to remember to be patient, you know? We don't have to go all in right off the bat. We got a fairy in a bottle. It's Ascension 15. Let's, you know, cool your jets a little bit. An Iron Wave early. I like it. Let's start upgrading some freaking cards. Wait a second. The shop is so close. Let's take Rummage. Give me an upgraded. We don't have any other 2-cost cards yet. Give me an upgraded. That's a little weak. Give me an upgraded Bash, I guess. Like, I think it's kind of a bad sign that we thought that that was our best option, but so be it. And I'm a big fan of the Tongs, even though it's sending us down kind of a dangerous path on the right side here. See, we love that for us. We do, people, we do. And yeah, I would take 1 damage to still get like 9 damage out there or whatever that was. And then let's bring back, you know you're attacking next turn. I'll still hit you. Taking 2 damage. Take 2? That one was organic. Not that big of a deal. This actually ended up not being that bad at all. But this is also the fight that is like easiest for us to do with our deck because our scaling actually matters. All the other bosses, we kind of just want to rush them down. So Shuriken is quite nice. I'm not 100% sold on a Blood for Blood, to be honest with you. I tend to actually like Bloodletting pretty decently. Fiend Fire, I mean, Hand of Greed, it would be nice, but we really got to get Pain out of the deck. And maybe just give me a Distilled Chaos to use to maybe expedite this super elite fight. Let's see what you're cooking up here. It'll wake you up. I would probably pass turn then. We really want to play like Bash and then Distilled Chaos. I guess this is good. It gives us a chance for more cards to be played. Or more cards to get upgraded. So we'll like... Well, maybe we won't Distilled Chaos given the circumstances. Let's bring back an Iron Wave. It's a bit of a coward's way to play it, but I can live with that. And let's go Distilled mode. We bought it to use it. Bring back Spot Weakness. Use a Bloodletting. So I think actually, I mean, this fight is going just fine. And it has gone just fine, I guess I should say. We should really be on the lookout for like a limit break, man. We have a lot of ways to gain strength. Well, we have one way to gain strength. Well, no, because we have Shuriken too. Perfected Strike is pretty tempting. I'll take one. And if we end up removing a lot, then... I mean, I guess I would consider that a bonus, to be honest with you. Bring back a Defend, unfortunately. I guess we could have Enlightened and then brought back Enlightenment, but... I think we did the right thing. And I'm a big... I could have killed you. I'm a big believer in... whatever the heck I was about to say that I've now forgotten. I'm a big believer in Bloodletting. A card that I did not give the credit that it deserved the first time that I played through Slay the Spire up to A20. Probably took it like 1% of the time. But now I'm like, dude, it's a stud. Are you kidding me? Bring back Enlightenment. I'll shoot for them. And who's the boss anyway? Guardian? I think we got an absolutely goated Guardian build. Let me guess. Yet again, I probably could have just killed you. We'll stall for one more turn for no reason. You know what? Like, we actually... I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But we've kind of got an amazing thing going here if we could just get a Reaper. We sort of have, like, all the tools in the toolbox. I love a True Grit, I'm sorry. It's going to make it so much easier to draw Limit Break. Eventually. Let's ice you. I don't really... I guess we'll just play that. I was going to say I don't really care if you hit a Limit Break with a True Grit, and that's true, but I would rather not invite that evil into my life if I can avoid it. 3 damage. No thank you, sir. No thank you. So I think, honestly, we got a great thing going here. And I also think that this is a beautiful situation because we have, like, a multitude of different paths we could take from this boss. Like, I think I would accept an offering. I would accept a demon form. I would be happy with extra energy. I'd be happy with lots of stuff, man. I don't fully know what stuff I'd be happy with yet. Because I think the world's our oyster. We got some good relics. So you need to go. Most important thing on this fight, I think, is going to be getting some strength going early. Let's take a Limit Break just in case. And then a very good exhaust. I accept it. I really feel like true enlightenment as the ironclad is when you accept that True Grit is like the best card in the game. Now I'm gonna make some enemies. Largely because I haven't actually run the numbers to know if it's the best card as the ironclad, but it feels like the best card is the ironclad. Every time I take it, I'm like, yes! Not my blood, not my blood. We'll play this then. Let's get Enlightenment out there and headbutt an... Oh, you're gonna attack next turn, but we could just... well, let me think about this. I don't really care to play our big attacks right now. Now that we've got you, we're 9 strength up, we're happy to play our small attacks, man. Which means we don't have to deliberately do damage to ourselves playing our good attacks against you. I would love to play a Bash at some point, but I can stall on it. I can stall on that any day of the dang week. Look at that. That's great. It's a great proof of concept. And that was on 3 energy. So... Immolate seems very nice for the hallway fights. And we actually, for once, we already have scaling to get through the boss fights. Limit Break plus. Like, we're very good at hallway fights. by this point, but we're not so good at big fights. This is a different story where I think that Immolate plays nicely with an upgraded True Grit. It plays nicely with Enlightenment. Corruption is also really good. There's pilot error baked into that for me. Gold is very valuable. But we don't need to remove our strikes because we kind of rely on a perfected strike early. I think we can. It's not the people's choice for like favorite relic. It has an insidious effect. There's no doubt about that, but what's done is done. And I kind of stand by it. Can you kind of stand by something? If you can, I kind of stand by it. Ideally, I'd love to use 184 gold to get a Reaper. That would hit the spot. Actually, we have meat on the bone, too. So, Reaper, important, but maybe not, like, super necessary early, although I would still love it. Certainly would take a shrug. We need to reform the deck with more blocks. It's nice to get 4 strength on the first turn. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. And like, yeah, maybe we took some damage here, but also killing the Chosen before they get a chance to annoy us is like a huge mental win. Inflame is also very good for the sort of scaffolding we built. Pantograph. I'm going to do it, and the reason I'm going to do it is because we have Fairy in a Bottle. So getting Necronomicon is quite nice. I'm going to ignore the apparitions for now just because I feel like we're in a comfortable spot. So let's Perfected Headbutt, play a Defend, and then, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with an Elixir, man, so... Slay the Spire. Oh, it doesn't double now. Slay the Spire players be like, everything in this game is situational. Except... Elixir may be the worst potion by a mile. Okay, so this turn, I think we embrace Oblivion. Might as well exhaust that then. Now things are getting serious. There's no joking there. But like, I think we've made the right decisions so far. I will take a Whirlwind. It's another hallway fight enabler. And I will rest just to get back on top. He's emoji posting. Let's draw. God, what I wouldn't give to have like a Bloodletting in hand, man. So a spot weakness gives us 3 strength, which will mean we're doing 48 damage, but it'll kill nobody. It's still, I mean, you gotta look at that as the right play, though. Because it puts them all on notice for the next turn. We take a little, but not enough to immediately need the rest. It's pretty solid. Paper Frog, colorless potion. I'm not really that beaten up over this one. I still think we're in a great spot. Again, this is like an amazing start. I guess I could have inflamed first. We should be paying attention to that. Power through. I don't mind it. It's a very cheap solution to our energy-related problems, but I'd really like to take the one that exhausts all non-attack cards, if we're going to take that. I think we can afford it. We tend to finish fights fast right now. Yeah, I'd probably go through with this. And then honestly, I just hit you, man. We tend to finish fights fast, so like if we play the card, we're likely, that's the way you do it, to not have to pay the cost of dealing with the wounds on a shuffle, except on boss fights, but that's kind of a given. A shop. We're not really a heavy blade deck, I think. Or are we? I mean, I know we gain strength. The only question is like, well, let's think about it. Whoops. So Heavy Blade, let's say we had 4 strength. On 4 strength, Heavy Blade does 52 damage if it's the first card we play. If it's upgraded, then it would do 68 damage. No, it would do more than 68 because it would be 18 plus 20. It would be 76 damage. 76. I mean, that's pretty good. I guess more 2-cost cards is gonna serve us well. That makes sense to me. And let's upgrade it. I'm so happy we have the tongs, man. Like, I have so many cards that I want upgraded. Horrendous start. Like, god-awful, almost like unbelievably god-awful start. This isn't even gonna double, but like, at least it's pretty good damage. So who's our boss? You. I think we have a pretty good setup for taking out that boss. Headbutt back and immolate, and like it's over for you. Blood potion's nice to have. I think we're chill with what we got. I don't want to make the deck like too block heavy, or you run the risk of what just happened to us happening again. I am True Grit not needing the Warp Tongs upgrade to target the best card for us to remove is very, very nice, I think. So this one is like a Whirlwind. Maybe it would have been nice to play a Strike first so we could have gotten extra strength off it, but it's not that big of a deal. I'll double up on that any day of the week, and I'll double up on this any day of the week, and like, you're already in kind of a tight spot. Given the circumstances, at least. Limit break for 1 strength is like... For me, that's hard to get excited about. But I guess, you know, limit break for 2 strength is a little bit easier to get excited about. I don't even know if I have other 2-cost attacks coming. I guess I have a Heavy Blade. Realistically, then, you might as well. Realistically, the Collector is dead, man. It's this turn or the next turn. Because we're going to get a doubled Heavy Blade at some point. Okay, I'm starting to get a little cocky, which is always dangerous. It changes your risk-taking. Impervious is an insanely good... I can't imagine a situation in which I wouldn't be happy to at least have an Impervious in the deck. Now, this choice is disgusting. I'm just being real with you. I'm kind of like on a quest to revitalize Velvet Choker. We are not playing more than 6 cards on average. Although now we will have 5 energy. And we do have the Necronomicon. But, hear me out. You just play around it, man. Just play around it. Doesn't really matter. You can't exhaust the Necronomicon in case you're curious. It's a heinous turn. An absolutely disgusting turn. We are going to take damage. I don't know, like 20-something damage. 15 damage. This is more what we're looking for. So this is 48 damage, so you're done. More than 48 damage. I don't think we need an uppercut. If anything, our deck is too thick, but we do lack the means to cut much. You could kill them all, but I personally would prefer to be a little bit more careful. I think it sounds crazy. I Carnage first, so I get the doubling. And then I Enlightenment, so like Perfected is cheap. And then we can get 1 extra strength. Oh, I can only play it with 6. Okay, so there's a cost to it. I was never trying to say there wasn't a cost to it. You're putting words in my mouth. I'm not very smart. This is an Impervious Strike turn. Not too fantastic, but at least we got some damage out there. This is this, and you are dead, which is very nice for me. Hold. Sword Boomerang could do something, but again, we don't want to... The real meat and potatoes... That's huge, even if it makes Perfected worse. The real meat and potatoes of this situation is we want to draw Limit Break more frequently. 2 attacks upgraded. Very strong chance it hits 2 strikes, but... It hit like the only 2 cards that weren't... Okay, it could have hit Pommel and Perfected and Iron Wave as well, but the fact that it hit 2 non-starter cards is like, I gotta call out that kind of amazing luck when I see it, man. That's crazy. Reducing forever, I guess, is better. Ignoring the Necronomicon effect, which you can't really just ignore, but you get the idea. I think the Timekeeper is bad, but we're not like uniquely screwed on the Timekeeper by any stretch of the imagination. Like Velvet Choker is like good, not as bad on the Timekeeper as it is on some other enemies, to be honest. Because we kind of want to play 6 cards per turn every turn anyway. I think. I don't know. We've been fighting a lot of Dono Deca, and to be honest with you, I've been kind of the opinion lately. Don't really want to take 20 damage here. That Dono Deca is actually kind of hard. It's hard in its own way because you can't take it at your own pace. Like, you really gotta speed... You're racing the boss, basically. It's like a DPS check, most of the time. The Timekeeper, he can be a little bit of a scumbag, but... You know, I think we got the kind of deck that... I mean, Source, I made it up, but the kind of deck that could actually do pretty well. You gotta go. We should just play it. Yeah, it's the right time. So as always, or as often at least, comes to pass, on the 3rd floor, I'm basically playing Coward Ball. I don't want to fight Elite that uniquely counters the sort of thing that we got going on. So I am choosing to be a little bit more risk-averse and, like, you know, more hallway fights, more question marks. I would prefer not to see a shop if I can avoid it, because... Interesting. I mean, more expensive cards is kind of good for us with Velvet Choker and Necronomicon, I think. You never know, the weakness could come in handy in a big way. But it really, I think on this boss, it really comes down to, like, how fast you get your strength going and how fast you draw Limit Break, which is why I'm trying to hold Liquid Memories. Well, that's my bad. If I'd known we could have gotten a kill, which I could have known just by doing the math, but if I'd known that we could have gotten a kill, I probably would have gotten it. Let's go with this. And I mean, you are dead, so I can't really complain, but... Oh, I drew it right away because of the ink bottle. You're still probably dead. You're still definitely dead, but... Okay, hold right here. I can't believe we're almost done with the floor, man. I would probably... Sounds crazy. I would probably double bash you just to get the vulnerability out there, and then next turn maybe we could double Carnage. I mean, you're only doing 5 damage, so... It's an amazing start so far. That couldn't have gone better. Did they even do anything, like, the whole fight? We have vulnerability built in. We don't need any more. Okay, so we got an upgrade, hallway fight upgrade. Let's upgrade... I mean, if strength is all that matters, 33% more from a good spot weakness would help. Could help, I guess, is maybe a better way to describe it. But we've been doing very, very well on short fights. It's like long fights where things might be a little bit spiced up. Hate to do it, brother. I do. I hate to spend the potion because we did get one back. I was gonna say we might not get one back, but okay, that went pretty well. And let's get a flame barrier going. All right. I mean, we made it to the boss. We know what we do with liquid memories. We limit break. So this turn's gonna suck because we're gonna bash, clothesline, limit break. Liquid memories, limit break, and then we're gonna take 18 damage, but we got our strength like very, very, very kick-started. So I was trying to shrug to see if we got a headbutt. Honestly, I would much rather play a whirlwind than an immolate because I don't want double burns in our deck if we can avoid it. I'd love to play 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we draw 1. We can only play 1, but it should be this one. Then you take the next turn off, but I possibly, in a perfect world, I could kill you with a beautiful draw. It's not gonna kill, well, is it gonna kill you? So we have 48 damage plus 90. It comes so close. Are you kidding me, man? We're like 30 off. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I would probably Carnage. Headbutt. We're on 8 strength. It's hard for me to not take a windmill, which is like 180 damage or something right now. And we got the space to play this and then that as well. So I think you're cooked, buddy. I think that's 200 damage. Dude, that was a... I don't know what you want me to say. Now, to be fair, Enlightenment, I don't think it really did all that much in the whole situation, but I think the run really came together, and I'm glad I spotted it, because I'm not always this guy. It came together when we took the spot weakness, and then we got the limit break, basically by pure luck. Like, just getting a rare reward from a hallway fight is pretty unlikely, but, like, they worked together so well. That was the engine, man. For now, feeling good. And eating good in the neighborhood. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. We'll be back with Ascension 16. See you then.